What's up, fellas? Good morning, good morning. How are we doing? Can I get a mic check? 1, 2, 3. Let me know if it sounds fuzzy at all, scuffle. Don't be afraid to let me be honest, you know. Don't be afraid to let me know. We sound good. Sometimes the cord gets a little pulled. Muted. I am muted. That is true. That is true. It's good. Okay. What do you say we go ahead and get started then, fellas? Good morning. Happy Monday. If you're watching the recap, probably watching on Tuesday, so happy Tuesday to you. What's up, fellas? Welcome back to PokeMMO. This is PokeMMO Stream Recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, and just general discussion of what's happening inside the community. The community is always there's a very hardcore, dedicated community that's always discussing things and figuring out what's happening in PokeMMO, discovering new things, and it's cool. This is a good way to be in touch with that and still be kind of a casual player. Oh, you don't have to watch hours and hours of streams every day, just a 20-minute to 40-minute stream recap. Let's go ahead and jump into it. First things first, we have upcoming events. If you don't know, there's about 2 to 3 catch events hosted every single week within PokeMMO. Now, catch events are events where you generally go to a designated location, catch as many Pokemon as possible of the species designated, and then you turn in either the best or the worst, or submit one Pokemon by DMing that Pokemon to a staff member at the end to try to win a prize. Catch events are amazing because usually you make some Pokeyen along the way by catching 1x31s, 2x31s, you know, good IV Pokemon, selling those, and then you also have a chance to win free RP, free shinies. Like, catch events are amazing for all types of players. Catch events are amazing. Catch events are also just a fantastic way to break monotony. Have you ever done like a 500 hour or a 2,000 hour or fucking even like a 30-hour grind, right? It's nice to break that up with a little 1-hour catch event. So let's just jump into what are the upcoming catch events. There's 2 big ones upcoming, and that's what I want to talk about. So firstly, let's talk about Safari Week. Safari Week is coming up. Now, Safari Week is not a catch event. Safari Week is not a PokeMMO thing. This is a Safari Week themed Pokemon catch event, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Safari Week is a Pokemon community thing. I believe started by Absol Blog. Someone could correct me. Safari Week, another correction possibly. I believe Safari Week is starting in 2025 on the 20th of June. So on Friday, this Friday, I believe Safari Week begins. And then I believe it goes from the 20th to the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. Someone could correct me. It's already Safari Week again. Yeah, it's crazy. Safari Week is an event in the Pokemon community where you are just encouraged to go to the Safari Zones in whatever games you play, whether it's PokeMMO, Fire Red, you know, Original Platinum, Diamond and Pearl, whatever you're playing. You're encouraged to go to those locations and shiny hunt and record your shunts and just see what happens and just have some amazing stories, have some amazing things happen. And there's always some amazing things that happen every Safari Week in Pokemon. So this is a Safari Week themed catch event upcoming in PokeMMO on the 22nd of June, so a little bit into the week. 22nd of June 2025, 11 a.m. ET at the Safari Zone in Kanto. You have 1 hour to catch. And now the beautiful part is you can catch, I think, any Safari Pokemon at all, which is really, 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 really cool. There's Chansey, which gives plus 20 points, obviously an extremely difficult catch. Tauros, which gives plus 15, Kangaskhan plus 15, Marowak, Cubone, Lickitung, Dragonair, Venomoth, Tangela, Pinsir, Scyther, Parasect, Paras, Aduo, Nidorino, Nidoran, Venonat, Krabby, Dratini, Rhyhorn, Execute, Seeking, Slowpoke, Golding, Poliwag, Psyduck, Magikarp. Lots of Pokemon to catch. Lots of different strategies here. Is it better to run back and forth over at the Chansey spot and hope for a good Chansey catch? Is it better to Old Rod for Magikarps and just catch like 60 Magikarps in an hour? And like try to get, you know, there's so many different strategies here to employ, so many different things you could do, and none of them are probably wrong. I'm excited to see who ends up winning this event. First to third place, highest to lowest score as per usual. And there's a shiny Venonat prize up for grabs. Your choice of nature, 2 moves. Always go for egg moves if you can. And then 3 selectable IVs, plus 3 times 20 the other IVs. So a really good IV shiny Pokemon, plus 1000 RP. And then second, third, and fourth place both get 500 and 250 RP respectively. Okay. That is the Safari Week event, which I'm very excited for. Once again, that is on the 22nd of June. All these details, if you want to see them, are over on the PokeMMO forums. Now, this one, if you are watching this stream recap, I hope you're watching it early. This event, we got very little notice on this. This event happens in a few hours. If you're watching the stream recap on Tuesday, get ready. The event happens at 1 p.m. ET. So I hope you watch the stream recap early. I hope you can make it to this event if you would like to. This event is on Tuesday, the 17th of June. We had very little notice for this. Tuesday, the 17th of June, 1 p.m. ET. Route 208 Sinnoh. I cannot go to this on the Ironman. I don't have Sinnoh unlocked, boys. So unfortunately, I will miss this one on the Ironman account. It's a bummer, but it's also the price I pay for not having storylines done. That's my fault, you know? 1 hour to catch as many Ralt, Turtwig, and Machop as possible. Some nature bonuses, and then as well as the first place prize. I really like that they did this. They made it so that you can pick shiny Ralt, Gallade, or Gardevoir. This is really important because some people might want a Curlia for, like, I don't know, an EV like Curlia for some reason. That's kind of cool. I respect it. Maybe they want it to be State of Ralts. Maybe they you know, maybe they want a Gardevoir Glade. The reason why this is important is because it's a gift prize shiny, which means they can't trade it. And they have to, like, pick the gender matters, right, on what Pokemon comes out as. So it's actually, like, really, really important. It's really, really important to pick the one that you want, because the one that you pick is probably going to stay in that form forever, if that makes sense. So don't pick a Ralts if you want it to eventually evolve it into a Glade or a Gardevoir. You might get the wrong gendered one. You don't get to pick gender, I believe. So be careful with that. Make sure you pick the right one if you want. I'm glad they give you the proper options. They haven't always done this. Obviously 1,000 RP, 500 RP, and, you know, extra RP as well for third and fourth place, second place winners. Next up, this is the PokeMMO suggestion box. This is where you can go if you want to give input into the game, give your own thoughts, possible update options, quality of life updates, yada yada yada. Something I notice with MMOs, a lot of people suggest quality of life stuff that isn't actually quality of life stuff. Like saying, oh, we should just get rid of animations or 2 times speed the game. That's not quality of life. That's literally doubling the pace of every activity in the game. That's a massive gameplay change. But this is a perfect example of a genuine quality of life change that is as old as time, and I'm honestly surprised we don't have this yet, and I would just love to see this. I think this is easily the #1 important quality of life update to see in PokeMMO. A in-game PokeMMO encounter counter. It's really that simple. And this guy recommends it in a really, really interesting way. I've never seen someone recommend it. Similar to like /playtime in World of Warcraft. He just says, why can't we just type like /encounters? It doesn't need to be like a physical big blob. Like, see how my encounter counter is in the top right up here, right? The 6,719 number. It doesn't need to be some big giant blob number. It doesn't have to be that. It could just be a /encounters thing. And then if you're a content creator like myself, you could still use the GEC and still have that big blob if you want to, right? But /encounters and /shiny hunt to show encounters in /shiny hunt would be amazing. Like, these would be really, really simple, really, you know, pretty easy things to add, hopefully, for the devs. I don't know if there's I don't know. I don't know what I know it requires dev work, but it can't be that much dev work. Tons of work, I'd assume. I don't know. I've never been a game developer, so I could be wrong. Maybe this requires a lot more dev work than I realize. I love the idea of this. Even if it is a medium, there's no way it's a lot, right? Even if it's a medium amount of dev work, I think this is a really important one. I think this is a priority one. The big thing is, you know, you might ask, it's a fair counter argument. Oh, why would we spend dev time on an encounter counter? We can just install them, you know, we have external mods, right? The biggest argument is that for mobile players, there's no automatic encounter counter for mobile players, and that's a big problem. Mobile players, if you play video games, you understand a lot of people play on mobile. You know, I don't really do that personally, but a lot of people play on mobile. It's a big way for a lot of people to engage in games if you have less time, if you're like on the bus or the train before work, if you're on the way, commuting back and forth between work, if you're at lunch break, like, you know, if you have a kid, you're waiting from the daycare. Like, it's some of the only times people can play PokeMMO is hop on for a few minutes on their phone, right? So it is important to keep that in mind, I think. And the other thing is switching back and forth between different devices. This one does affect me. As someone who plays between desktop and laptop, I'm constantly having to check my other device and update my encounter counter because you have to like manually update them, right? So I get some encounters on my desktop, some on the laptop, etc., etc. So that could be a pain. I would love to see an automatic encounter counter in PokeMMO. I think it's a no-brainer, but obviously it comes down to like resources, development time. I feel like that's got to be an easy one, but I mean, even if it isn't, I think it's worth the time, is what I would argue. Hopefully we'll get some news. I would love to see the devs response to like why or why not we don't have an encounter counter yet. My guess would be that it's on the docket, but they have higher priority things, which, you know, Yeah, I believe that. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to go ahead and start on my Iron Man today. We're doing another gym rerun, I believe, number 4 on the account, which is really cool. And we're doing some legendary hunting, but hopefully spicing up some legendary hunting because that's another whole discussion is roaming legendaries. That's like I want to say it's not a hot topic for debate, but the PokeMMO devs themselves have said that they actually don't love the way roaming legendaries are implemented, and they don't really want to create more in the future. That was covered in a forum post, I want to say 6 to 18 months ago, about a year and a half or so within that time frame. They've talked about not wanting to implement more legendaries like that. I think that's a good way to do it. Roaming legendaries are interesting. They do spice up single encounter hunts. They do make some things more interesting. But if you're just running back and forth in grass to go for a roaming legendary, it feels really bad. It really sucks. But if you're like ditto hunting or single encounter shiny hunting and you have that extra, like, oh, the extra cherry on top for the legendary, then it's not a big deal. But a lot of casual players, I think, run back and forth just for the legendary. So something to consider, something to keep in mind and talk about. I'm going to jump into things. I'll see you guys with any good questions from Twitch chat. Ooh, hopefully no F twisting my fingers, bro. I love the idea of buffing legendary lures a little bit, Cav. I don't love the idea of guaranteed things in MMOs and games. There's a lot of problems with a matter of time. No, don't say that, Chuckle. There's a lot of problems with like making things guaranteed, in my opinion. That promotes a lot of it promotes more gamba and more like a lot of JRPGs and like Korean like mobile games do like if you open X amount of crates, and it's kind of a way to encourage you to like, oh, it's fine. It's actually fine if you credit card swipe and buy legendary lures, or because eventually you get it guaranteed, and it's like, okay, well, wait a minute, that's kind of malicious, all right. All right, it is time for another beautiful morning on the Iron Man account. I am starting the 4th gym rerun ever on the account right about now. I'm going to jump into it. Afterwards, I'm down to 6 amulet coins left. I need to farm a bit more of these soon, but I'm honestly liking I farmed them for about 2 hours, and now I'm just riding off of that 1 or 2 hours or so. I do need to get back to legendary hunting, man. I still have 2 legendaries to hunt, and we're halfway into the month. These hunts are making me lose my brain a little bit, man. They're so mind-numbing, just running back and forth, hoping to see that Raikou, that Articuno. I might need to switch things up. Catch Charmanders while I do it. Catch Dittos while I do it, perhaps. I need a lot of Dittos on this account, and that might encourage me to start getting rid of or breeding up different ed groups of Pokemon as well. So I might try to maybe even go back to Payday Pickuping. That one I'm unsure of, but I do want to switch things up a fair bit. I don't like how mind-numbing the legendary hunting has been, even though it's so crucial to the account. Shadow Spot and Johto, yes, I think that might be the play. The problem is I'd have to buy repeat balls. I'd have to go prep in Hoenn and then buy repeat balls to be able to farm there properly. The shiny chances are cool. I like Miltank and stuff. Not wrong. Well, marked by the admins or by the OP, that is usually marked like if the forum is closed, it's usually by the staff, like admins. Great question. Second shiny Litwick, good luck to you, man. Milker's Duck Chansey, yeah. Just Dust Ball. That is true when that's kind of base Legion. When it's nighttime in game in Johto, I can just farm there pretty normally. You're not wrong. We'll crank music up a little bit more today. I don't want the music to be too overpowering in the Iron Man clips and stuff for sure. Dude, it's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how you guys feel. I am really glad that the 1 billion Pokeyen event is over. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. But like for a little bit throughout Sunday, I was like, ugh, I just worked 7 days straight. I just streamed Saturday and Sunday, which I wouldn't normally do. And now I have to go live tomorrow on Monday. I was a little bit like, and I love streaming, but I was a little bit like, ugh, And then as soon as I was like, wait a minute, but I don't have to wake up at 7 a.m. And I was like, oh, now I'm excited. As soon as I was like, oh my God, I don't have to wake up at 7 a.m. to fucking stream. Oh, that'll just be fun. I get to wake up at fucking, that will just be a good time. I was like, I have to go wake up and go live again. But no. We get to fucking, Not waking up at 7 a.m. I'm chilling. Don't mind that at all. It was the double 7 a.m. wake up in a row that hurts. That is so out of my normal sleep schedule. That broke my brain a little bit. Thank you, Usopp. Thank you, Usopp. It was a lot of fun too. Yes, I need to join the Iron Man Discord. I just haven't gotten around to it. I want to join and like check it out, not just like join and, you know. Yeah, I might need to up what's it called? I can what's it called, Tom? Promote you to the rank where you can do that for sure. Well, no Articuno yet. Yeah, dude. The Iron Man's cursed. I'm sorry. My Iron Man's so lucky. I'm sorry yours is cursed. Yours is cursed? Cursed? Dude, that's so... Yes, Legion. Like, had Shiny Wars before the event, so I had no energy for the event. Dude, congrats to you for doing a Shiny War. Yeah, it's... Sometimes there's so many events happening. Like, for so many years, we're reaching a point in PokeMMO where, we're reaching a point where we're gonna have to start making, like, trade-off decisions. And what I mean by that is, like, okay, I want to do like all of these events, but I literally don't have time for them. I'm gonna have to say no to one. I'm gonna have to not do one. I believe it's very similar. Ty, great question. I might lose a Typhlosion here, but I should hopefully be okay. Let's see. Aqua Tail, he could miss. He's gonna hit. That's not that bad chip damage. I think you need to breed in them for easier kill. Tally, I love you so much. I want to Tally, you're an amazing chatter. I want to politely discourage backseating. What I really need to do is I need to breed Memento onto it to make it so that it can kill itself in situations like that. But I just haven't gotten around to it. That's it, you know. I want to be nicer about... I want to be nicer. No, Tally's fucking amazing. Don't shoot Tally with the Peepo gun or Patrouski. Yeah. No, you're so fucking perfect. Once again, I want to be nicer about... Most backseating is just someone being like, oh, hey, like, this would probably make your life easier. Like, it's people trying to help, like, you know, but it's usually I've thought about it and I know the solution. It's more about, you know, it's like, yeah, it's human nature, dude. I totally get it. It's helpful people backseat. I think that's helpful people will backseat other people. And it takes a lot of like mental training to be like, oh, wait, catch my tongue. Like, let me not. Like, I do it. I backseat my wife all the time, you know, and I shouldn't, right? It's human nature a little bit. I want to be nicer about that. We all make those mistakes every day. The PokeMMO, I think we're like on a constant upstream. Great question, yo, pet dog. Like constant upstream. I don't think we're like at the peak as in like we're gonna go down, you know? Do what to your wife? I definitely, you know, I think there's a constant meme of like on average throughout the past 50 years or so, I think our generation's been the first one to break this curse. But if a woman came home from work or came, you know, went to her husband to be like, hey man, I had a rough day, or I'm not feeling good. They went to their husband to complain. For a long time, the husband would be like, oh, let me solve this for you. Oh, well, you should, you know, do this instead, or blah blah blah. And it's like that's not always helpful, you know. Sorry, I'm gonna lava plume my own Typhlosion because of that. That's a little awkward. That was a little silly willy. I forgot lava plume hits the mons on the side, doesn't it? These are not flash fire, of course. Oh, I forgot to mention. I almost forgot to mention, but I have a new Garchomp in the back over here that I'm leveling. So I am leveling my 2x31 Jolly Nature 252 EV trained Garchomp. If I can get this up to the higher level, level 100 or so, I could eventually use this in raids and PVM. It would be a fantastic PVM mon. But as well as, it'll honestly just be a really good... It already is, to be fair. This is basically already a complete PvP Pokemon. I need to moveset it, of course. I'd probably go ahead and put, like, Earthquake over Dig or something like that. But this is a usable OU comp, to be honest. It's not amazing. It's not perfect. But a usable OU comp. This is kind of hella awkward. Man's planning a back will be illegal. I wouldn't make them illegal. Maybe like a fine, but like a really small, like $5. Like a really small fine. We should have fines that are $5. I feel like all fines are like $100 or more. I guess the meme is it's not worth it or whatever, but yeah, anyways. Dude, yeah, Sacred Almighty is a really cool guy. I've talked to him a little bit. He plays Pokemon every so while. He's like the perfect Sacred Almighty is the perfect example of he's the perfect guy for the Pokemon community, where he shows off a bunch of different games and he comes back and forth between, which is what the average player does. The average player isn't like me, where I grind Pokemon for thousands of hours. That's a little weird, right? The average player is someone who like comes home from work and hops around games, and he does that in the perfect way for content. So he constantly draws attention to games like Pokemon and is a really positive asset to like, I love when he covers Pokemon. It's so good for our game every time he touches it, man. It's so good. Yeah, he's done it. He's done a few videos in the past, and I saw him touch it recently. I saw him do a giant video recently. There are better strategies. Let me do we see drought from this or flash fire? There are better strategies than this. This is like a very beginner strat. I have 3 different Rerun guides on my channel. One is the like super basic double Typhlosion strat, which is kind of what this is. There's also the upgraded basic strat, which is double Typhlosions and double Water Spout Blastoise. And then there's like the advanced, intermediate to advanced strat that is 6 pillars. I have a guide on that as well on my channel. I'm gonna go, I think I do go double memers here, but I think I click Swift on one. Do I ever Swift both? Do I do have damage if I do that? I kind of don't think so. I'm gonna Swift on the Specs one. Is there no flash fire here? Okay, we're chilling. Yeah, if you want any links to any of those gym run guides, let me know. Got called weird for having a 600 hidden ability Piplup. I'm just glad. Hey, dude, you do you, man. That person's weird for caring about what you care about, you know. What's up, Shatter? How you doing, dude? The Blastoises, I say in the upgraded video relapse, yeah. The Blastoises are really just for what is it? The Blastoises are for, sometimes you bring them in Nimbasa, sometimes you bring them in Pewter, but they're mostly just for Blaine. Like, the Blastoises help you do like 2 more gyms. I always try to make it very clear, like, hey, yeah, this is like the upgraded thing or whatever, but like, the upgrade is not necessary. Like, you don't need the upgrade. Don't think it, like, you know. Run Gambit. I feel like we're a little too far into it now. We could do a different Gambit today. We could gamble on whether I get a legendary or not today. We could wait like, let's wait like 15 minutes until like 30 minutes left in Charm, and then we could yeah, gamble on whether or not I get legendary today. I have a pretty big invade, which I haven't played since last summer. What did I miss? No, okay, KG64. I have a video called, welcome back, by the way. You're of course a legend. Everything that happened in Pokemon in 2024. This is going to be your best bet, because there was a fair bit. Yes, here you go. Those are the goals you want to finish today. Finish one today. I don't know if I'm that close to any goal. Besides, like, I think I'm just going for, the problem is legendaries are like holding up. I don't say holding up my progress, but like limiting it in a very specific way. Dude, of course, KG, welcome back, dude. Happy to see you. Maybe at one point Legion, but not for like a very long time. I forgot to heal. Fuck, that actually sucks. Maybe one day I'll go for 6 pillars, but not for, so yeah, it's not for a very, very long time. I don't even have the BP for the scarf, you know. You can't just, I think a lot of people are asking about hyper endgame stuff on the Iron Man, which is awesome, but hopefully I show you guys like a real representation of how long it takes to get to, you know, it just takes time. Moltres gave you so much content. Moltres was fantastic, but Raikou and Articuno have taken away content for, not really, but like, it's just running back and forth, man, you know. One and done annoyance. That is true. This is a good way to put it. I know I'm complaining about legendary hunting on the Iron Man a ton, but I think Flappin put it best. Getting the legendaries are a one and done annoyance. It's a really good thing to keep perspective and keep in mind. I'm only ever going to hunt for Raikou like once on the entire account. I'm only ever going to hunt for Zapdos once, right? And like maybe if I passively get them in the future for like elemental orbs or rainbow quills, sure, but you only do these hunts once. So you kind of should appreciate them, or have fun with them as much as you can. Because yeah, it's unlikely you'll hunt them back to back to back for sure. It's a great point. You can catch multiple legendaries like if after 3 months pass. Running back and forth isn't content. I know this might shock people who yeah, on each account. After 3 months you can catch. So like if they rotate every 3 months, so you can catch Zapdos. Well, right now it's Articuno. You can catch Articuno right now, for example, and then catch Articuno again in 3 months when it rotates back, but only once per month. If you have more questions, if you just Google like legendary Pokemon explained, I have a full video on it. Yeah, most of my content is yapping with running back and forth. Well, nothing permanently. You can farm them again in the future, but it just takes time. I haven't had a sugar-free Rockstar in so long. They were just on a really good sale. I just buy I'm pretty like not picky once again. I buy my energy drinks based on what's on sale. I try to shoot for around, you almost never can get $1 per energy drink. That's too cheap, but I usually shoot for around $1.25 per energy drink. I think these were on sale for like 3 for $5 or 4 for $5. Good sale. But it's good. I haven't. So it's like, I'm just yapping. But I haven't had a Rockstar sugar-free in a long time. I remember not liking the original taste of Rockstar as a kid growing up. But I actually am enjoying the Rockstar sugar-free, man. I feel like as a kid it wasn't sweet enough for me, but now I kind of like it. How would you make most people farm berries consistently? Ooh, it's a good question because it does cost a lot. The capital is really high to acquire berries. The biggest thing is you probably want to like have a few. You probably just sell your Lepa berries every day, or on a main account. Or would you mean on a main account? Sorry, do you mean on a main account or an Iron Man? On an Iron Man, I have to just get a fucking shit ton of seeds and figure out what's going on with that. The problem, yeah, no, this is a good example of Jimmy runs have been around for so long. I think most things have been considered. Have you considered a 0 IV quiet Torkoal? Yes. The problem with that is a lot of gyms have fake out, and if they fake out your Torkoal, then you're fucked. So you can't, yeah. Fake out is the biggest. You should never run a. You can. There's people who run high-level Torkoals and Jimmy runs. If it makes you happy, go for it. It is objectively less efficient. It is literally just worse. You should not run a high-level Torkoal in this style of Jimmy run, because it just opens you up to fake out. It opens you up to, yeah, you just don't do as much damage as the Typhlosions. Like, it's just worse. A lot of people have tried to do it in the past. Gotcha, Shatter. I'll probably do Twitch rewards like this Thursday. Remind me, chat. This Thursday is probably a good day for Twitch rewards. Ghost of Turtle, Data Brain. I wonder if I shouldn't have double eruptioned here. Covert Mantle. That's cool. Cool option. Yeah, there you go. That's honestly a good point, to be fair. Covert Mantle is still very new to the game. I have not thought about Covert Mantle. That's a fair one. That's a good example of like bro doesn't even have Terra type Ghost Torkoal. I'm dead. Yeah. Oh, what a noob, bro. That's a fair point. I have not done Jimmy runs in like Covert Mantle era. That's a cool option. Watch me get 250k in one Jimmy run for the first time, and then we didn't do a Gamba on it. Watch today be like the first day. I'd have to read Covert Mantle exactly, but I'm based on the social context, I'm assuming. This protective garment guards a whole lot of additional effects. So I assume you can't get like scald burned. I assume you can't get, yeah, additional effects. Yeah, flinch. There you go. What car would you want? Do you want like my dream car? That's a good question. What's your dream car or what's your pragmatic car? The honest answer is I probably wouldn't want to get a car. Like the problem is, okay, I always say I live a very untraditional life. I probably wouldn't own a car. I wouldn't want to. Why the fuck would I want to buy a car to not use it, to pay for car insurance, to pay for gas, to pay for bills? I don't go anywhere. Like I just like I've always lived my life in a way where I walk to the grocery store, I walk to the barber shop. If I really need to go somewhere far, I've always paid a friend or Ubered. Yeah, a car is paying for convenience, and it's just not a convenience that I need. Like, why would I pay for it? You don't have a car? No, I just don't want to go anywhere. The real meme is I just don't. Where do I want to go, man? I want to fucking play PokeMMO. I walk outside. I go out to nature. You know, I walk. I walk to the grocery store. I walk to, you know, what else is there to do? I don't care about, you know, parts of living in a city. I definitely, yeah, like if you're rural, it's way different. Like most, yeah. I just always live my life in a way where I don't, because cars are fucking expensive, and I, you know, didn't have a lot of money for a long time. I still don't have a lot, but you know, I'm at least not like in the constant fear of being homeless. Like I'm not there anymore, which is nice, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think people like, there's a lot of things like that in life where it's like, oh my, you gotta go to high school, you gotta go to college, you gotta get married, you gotta have kids, you gotta get a car. There's a lot of things like that that aren't the case for everybody. Now the reason why those things are echoed is because on average they are. On average, that's the best way to succeed in life. It's a really, really important part of growing up to acknowledge what parts of those are a way for you to succeed and be happy and what aren't. For me, college, high school, kids, those aren't things that make me happy, nor were in the playbook for me, you know. Now I succeeded in spite of those things, not because I, you know, didn't go to college. But it's just everybody's different, you know. I did get married, I did, you know, build a career, yada yada yada, but you don't always have to. It's obviously, this is very basic stuff. You'd be surprised how many people, when you tell them your life is a little out of the norm, when I tell, oh yeah, I didn't go to college, I don't own a car, like they're like, whoa, how do you even live? And it's like mind-blowing to them because they've never thought about, which I understand, you know. Who the fuck would spend your free time thinking about that? I get it. Yeah, that's, yeah. It is crazy how many Americans, like, if you, yeah, dude, for sure. Stigma's crazy. Yeah, no, that's really fucking real, Colton. Yeah. It's really weird. People are really judgmental about if you don't own a car in America. It's very weird. People are like really, yeah. I think it just takes time as different lifestyles. People are just, sometimes people are just scared of out of the norm things, which is okay. It's normal. It's human, you know? That's fucking based, Master Baron. That's so funny. I respect it, man. I respect it. I mean, okay, a good example of like, I'll give an example of how I'm guilty of this, right? If someone tells me they wake up at like 5 or 6 a.m., I'm like, whoa, that's fucking on my brain. How do you even do that? I can't even imagine. But obviously, like for them, it's normal, and like it's not. Now, hopefully, when I react like that, it's like, oh, dude, you're so cool. Like it's supposed to be like a complimentary thing, not like a whoa, you freak. Like I purposefully almost react like that to people, like whoa, that's really impressive. Like I could never do that, you know. Yes, and I think that's so fair and real and like very true for a lot of super true. Legion. What happened to my? What happened to my? What the fuck? Tailwind, Whimsicott avoided. Did I not explode? What happened? Sky drop. That's fucking weird. Whatever. Thank you. It just depends on where you live and stuff. I mean, the meme is, so I didn't grow, it depends on where you live. Like I didn't live in a city for a long time, but I lived right next to a grocery store. Like I lived next to like a, what's it called? Outlet or whatever. And that outlet had like a grocery store and a barber shop, right? Like it's not really living next to, like in a city. It's more so like a suburb. Like even now I live in like the suburbs, not really like but it depends, you know? I think this is a fine question. Would somebody bring like a band? I mean, probably not, right? Like it depends. Yeah, I think it's a fine question, playa. People ask me all the time, like, would I still play? What would I do if PokeMMO got hit by Nintendo? And the answer is always like, I have a million other hobbies and interests and passions that I would go do. You know, there's a million other games I could go play, a million other things I could pursue. Like, yeah, of course. What would you do if you lost your job? I don't know. Like, there's more job security. Yeah. It's an interesting conversation. Yeah, if my main account got banned, yeah, I'd probably still play. Especially if I just broke the rules and I fucked up. My main account got banned. Yeah, I'm on my Iron Man right now. I want a different account right now, you know? If I fucked up, then yeah, of course I'd probably still play because it was just me being dumb, right? If I got like banned in what I considered unrightfully, but it's really unlikely, then like maybe I wouldn't play, but I probably still would. I don't know, it depends. Dude, I'm happy to fucking hear it. No, Dino, good. Thank you for your work, man. Dude, no, of course. That's the perfect way to... Dude, no worries, man. I really appreciate you doing cool stuff. And I try to just, like... People are always really nice and always come back and thank me. I try to just, like, hype, like, call out stuff that people are... There's a lot of really cool people doing cool stuff in the Pokemon community. I like to just try to call that out, you know? And, you know, thank you for doing cool stuff. No, I think it's a total... Dude, I thought it was a fine question, playa. Don't worry. Sometimes my chat, and you guys are just fucking amazing. Sometimes my chat is a little defensive of me because I get a lot of annoying people every day. You know, I get a lot of people like, oh, did you quit? I remember, dude, I explained to my IRL friends, like, oh yeah, people ask me all the time, did you quit that thing? And they just started fucking pissing themselves laughing. They were like, what? Why would you ever say that? Like, and it made me feel so not crazy for once, where I was like, oh my god, I'm not crazy. Like, because it's just a weird... No human should ever ask another human, did you quit X? I don't know if there's literally ever a social setting where that's okay. Maybe if you, like, oh, did you quit smoking? But even then, it's like, you'd probably say, like, oh, did you, like, you know, like, stop smoking? Hell yeah, man. Like, that's, you know... If you ever start a sentence with, did you quit X thing? You probably need to rewrite that sentence. Yeah, the amount of people, like, I always explain it as, so I move around, for those who don't know this, the lore behind this is I move around shiny hunts a lot in PokeMMO, and people always ask me, did you quit the Delibird shunt? Did you quit the blah blah? And it's like, number one, that's an insane thing to ask and to word it like that, because if there's three options or two options. I either did give up is actually the word, give up. I either did give up and now you look like an asshole because it's just, why would you, it's rude and disrespectful, or I didn't give up and you look dumb. So either way, you look dumb. You either look dumb and rude or just plain dumb. It would be like if someone left work to go home and then someone said, oh, did you give up on work? No, bro, I'm just moving locations in life. What are you talking about? What do you mean that I give up? It's like, it's like actually people who like lack object permanence. Oh, did you give up on the, you know, like after I finished my Jimmy run? Oh, did you give up on Jimmy running? What happened? Did you not Jimmy run today? And it's like, I just did it, bro. What are you talking about? It's I don't get it, but it's a very common thing I would run into in Twitch chat. You quit quitting? That's the real question. Did you quit quitting's the real question you ask. True. No, but a really common question is like, oh, if Nintendo ever took down PokeMMO, what would you do or whatever? And yeah, there's like a million, you know, find something else in life, you know? How's it going? Yeah, just say how's it going, or yeah. I would give up on work if I could. Yeah, that's fair. Valid. Valid. People at RMT get caught if the stuff is offline. Our devs alerted if someone trades publish Chinese without a return. They're not like alerted, but they definitely keep tabs on it. The devs will never, I mean, I can't speak. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes. The devs will never ban someone without like proper evidence. Like it has to be like people are always worried they're gonna get banned because they like traded. I get all the questions all the time. Can you trade stuff between alt accounts? Like, will I get banned for RMT? No, of course. Like, no, you won't. I do it all. I've traded hundreds of millions of Pokeyen, you know, between what's it called? You don't, right? I don't think it's something we have to worry about. TV gamer. I don't think it's of concern. I don't want people to be worried about that. So I don't think it's of concern. I think PokeMMO would like die before Nintendo ever took it down, and not that it's close to dying, you know. Yeah. What's RMT? Can't you just pay to win anyway? What's the difference? So the problem with RMT, you can't pay to win in PokeMMO, by the way. You literally can't. You can pay for advantage. Yeah, RMT is bad because it allows players to get like an unfair advantage. You can't pay to win in PokeMMO. You can pay for advantage by getting like donator status, but you can't like stack donator status. You can't like pay for a shiny. You can't like, you know, you can't pay for PvP skill. You still have to grind. You could, yes, you can like skip some of the grinding and like pay to like buy a PvP team, like buy RP vouchers or whatever. But you can't pay for PvP still. You still have to get good at PvP, right? The same reason why like in NASCAR, right? You could like be born to a rich family and then buy you the fastest car in the world, but you still gotta fucking drive it. Like, you can't pay for piloting skills in PokeMMO. Welcome, TV gamer. Ooh, good luck to you, Master. Good luck to you, man. What an insane streak. Last 3 shinies, 81k encounters dry, 800, and then 55k? What the fuck? I feel like this one's going 66k. Really, good luck to you, man. Yeah, you can't pay to be good. Yeah. Pay for infinite yen, yeah. And unfortunately, I agree with you, and I don't love that. Don't get me wrong, Shatter. Unfortunately, that's like the case in like every MMO. Like, look at like World of Warcraft with the WoW token, old school RuneScape with the bond. Unfortunately, in pretty much every single MMO, you can just pay for the currency, which I don't love, but it's the norm. It's become the norm. Yeah, you're not wrong. It shaves off. You're not wrong, Shatter. But I could be wrong. Generally, people who credit card swipe for things like fossils and ditto boxes don't have the, if you don't have the patience to grind the Pokeyen, usually those players don't have the patience to do the shiny hunts. There are some rare exceptions, like the, what's his name? Oh fuck, like the best shiner in the world. I know he credit card swipes a lot, but also hunts a lot and is like really fucking talented. What's up, Cherno? Good morning, dude. That's true. Yeah, it's pretty rare. Yeah, Jun Lucky. Yes, Jun Lucky. I could be wrong. I believe he credit card swipes a fair bit, but like he also like he's the best example of a credit card swiper. Where like in a positive light. Like he credit card swipes, but he also shiny hunts like 20 hours a day or something. Like he's so dedicated and like intense, and he's so good. He's so good. Hunts on 4 devices at once. At that point, you're allowed. Yeah, that's fucking insane. That is like unbelievable. Dude, hell yeah, Cherno. Rods. I think, dude, as someone who loves to, I like to keep my in-game grinds in-game. If you credit card swipe and then egg hunt and do get fucking more power, egg hunts are still hard as fuck. Like more power, like, you know, like it doesn't make it, I don't know. You could pay for advantage in PokeMMO. It is relevant, but I think it's not ideal, but I think it's fine. I have no disrespect to those players. You still got the egg shiny, man. That shit is tough, man. Dude, it's so, yes. Egg hunts are just a different beast, Crips. It's so insane. Yeah, that's kind of the case in like every MMO, is that like that it's a really good argument. It is a good argument, Zetabyte. Like having bonds, having the WoW token, having like RP vouchers in PokeMMO, having the way to buy currency in MMOs actually decreases RMT and real world trade, right? Because there's a lot of players who do want to buy this stuff, but they don't want to do it illegally. It's just that RMT is the only way, so they kind of still do it, which is not good. But it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting in my opinion. I need to Swift against this guy. I wonder if it's actually... Well, my Garchomp's too low level. Yeah. Congrats on your first 10 mil. And Dragonite, dude. Hell yeah, dude. How do I make 10 mil into 100 mil? Great. Okay. This is a great question and a great story. Hey, Fat, I played for about 350 hours in the game, and I recently got my first 10 million Pokeyen. Congratulations. And your first shiny. Your first shiny was a Dragonite. Congrats. Those are some of my main goals. How do I turn 10 mil into 100 mil? What I would recommend, it's currently June, right? I know this is the boring answer, it's the patient answer. But if you're someone with 10 to 30 mil Pokeyen and you're newish to PokeMMO and you want to be intense and take things seriously, I really recommend setting aside a large portion, like 10 mil or 25 mil. I would set aside 25 mil if you can for the upcoming event season. Investing in event season properly is one of the best and safest ways to just increase your wealth in PokeMMO to a ridiculous degree. I always say, like, pretty much all of my wealth on my main account, like 80% of it was built up by doing a Jimmy run every single day. I fucking didn't kill the Ninetales. Oops. Do a Jimmy run every single day and then made investments. Mysterious balls did wonders for me. Any newly released Mysterious ball is almost always amazing. Now, don't go by. I don't recommend. You can, if you want to, make your own. Please make your own financial decisions. Don't listen to what I'm saying. This is not financial advice. Go make your own decisions. Make your own investments. But in general, the safest investments are buying new Mysterious balls as they're released when they're at their bottom out price. When things come out during event season, the general rule of thumb with event season, if an event lasts 14 days, do not buy anything for the first 5 days. Okay, don't buy shit. That's overpriced. It's excitement. It's kind of like pre-order prices for like trading card games, if you're familiar with that. The excitement's really high. You know, people are blah, 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 right? It's not good. So you want to wait for like 5 days, don't buy anything, and then start buying stuff for like 3 to 5 days, and then also make sure you're done buying stuff for the final 3 to 5. You don't want to buy anything in the first 5 days, and you ideally don't want to buy anything in the last 3 to 5 days, because there is panic hype at the start and panic FOMO at the end. Where at the start, people are just excited, they want to see all the new stuff, see the new vanities, yada yada yada, and then by the end, people are like, oh my god, I don't want to miss out on this vanity. It's so cool. I'm just gonna sell everything and spend buy or whatever. There's a lot of panic FOMO and a lot of panic buying. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Okay, so wait the first 5 days. Buy investments you want to. Generally sealed product. You can go high risk, high reward with like RP vanities or just vanities in general. But Xmas presents, Santa presents, goodie bags, pumpkin goodie bags, mysterious balls. I think I cannot. I've preached it over and over and over again. And at some point, if I preach it enough, people are catching on. The more years that go by, the more information that gets spread, the less good the investment is, because more people are buying in, if that makes sense. More people know to save and make proper financial decisions as opposed to gambling. But also, you know, can gamble if you want to have fun. Mysterious balls are just insane. I always say, so I have I can't even show my investments. I'm on my Iron Man account, but on my main account, you know, I have things like anniversary chests, which I bought for 20 to 30k, and those are now what, 60k a piece, 50k a piece. And I have like 1,300 of those, for example, right? Yeah, there's those. There's things like Mysterious Great Ball 2023s, which Mysterious Great Ball 2023. I bought, oh my god, I bought most of these on my main account for anywhere from 25 to 42k at their highest. 42k. Now they are 92k. These actually, I remember not even last year, 8 months ago, 6 to 8 months ago, these Mysterious Great Balls were 42k. Within 6 to 8 months, they increased 100% in value. That's ridiculous. And I told everybody, I'm very like, I don't hide stuff. I'm not secretive. Like, I told everybody, oh my god, people are panic selling Mysterious Great Balls to buy the new and exciting investment. Don't be that person. I was like, I'm gonna buy up I'm gonna buy up all the mysterious. It's a guaranteed investment. It will work. It has worked in the past. They dropped to 42k. I was like, these are one of the lowest shiny rate mysterious balls in PokeMMO. They give really good shiny odds. I bought a whole new batch of them for 42k a piece, and now they're 93k, 92k a piece. So just be patient, be smart, keep eye on a few items. Don't panic sell, don't panic buy, don't sell your investments to buy the new exciting one that's almost never worth it. You want to buy, if anything, you want to buy. If anything, what I recommend is you want to skip a year of investment. So this year, it's very likely that when the new event season comes out, people will be panic selling last year's and previous events and items. If I were you, I'd recommend looking out for those price drops on Mysterious Great Balls, on any Mysterious Balls, on Premier Balls, on last year's Goodie Bags, on last year's, if those prices drop, you should buy them up and then, you know, use that as your investment as opposed to always getting this year's, right? Now, if you want to make investments in PokeMMO, yeah, just buy low, sell high. Sell low, buy high, correct? Yeah, exactly. Get your brain. If you want to make investments in PokeMMO, you gotta use PokeMMO Hub, okay? It is a really, really good website that lets you track your investments. You can straight up see. I can actually go over to mine. Here, let me show really quick on stream. I know I'm in the middle of a gym run, but we can see. Browser. Let's get this up for you guys. Here are my PokeMMO investments, for example, right? You can see there's only some of them, obviously. I don't track everything, but like the reason this is I think this is just last year's event season investments, if that makes sense. So this is within the last year's event was in October, so it's been 8 months. Within the past 8 months, I have gained 80 million Pokeyen by just sitting on my ass doing nothing, right? This is how you get rich in PokeMMO. Do Jimmy runs, make your initial capital, make money, make investments. 102% gain is ridiculous. This is insane, right? I spent 77, which is a lot of Pokeyen, right? It took me years to get that. 77 mil and turned it into 156 mil. This is very consistent. Yeah, that's all I can say is it's very consistent. It's very good to do. Mysterious Great Balls up 121%. Pokeballs 129. This is ridiculous. This is just, it's the most broken way to make money in PokeMMO's investments. I try to always tell people to do it. It's you gotta make good investments, but it's really broken, man. It's not foolproof. No investment is 1000% safe. You might, you know, especially vanities. Vanities can be really risky. Most sealed product, if you buy at the bottom out price, is a decent investment usually. But yeah, make money, do Jimmy runs, make capital. Event season is where people's PokeMMO's lives are changed. The website's called PokeMMO Hub. No worries, Clashy. It's called PokeMMO Hub. E-Hub for short. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. It's just PokeMMO Hub. Gotta make that joke before someone else in chat makes that joke. But yeah, I should be selling. Yeah, time to start selling courses for Pokeyen. I should be selling courses for Pokeyen on how to get rich, and then get rich off the courses, and then tell everybody that you get rich from the course. Get your brain. Now we're talking. Dude, it's, yeah, people, it's like, I don't know if it's short-term memory or like, dude, people forget, man, Usopp. 1000% you're correct, man. People are always like, oh my god, like nothing, you know, PokeMMO never gets updated, yap, doomer, depressing thought process, blah, blah, blah. Dude, if you go back and you check how many legendaries were added in 2024, the raids, like, it's pretty fucking crazy, man. Have you watched Yes Man? Yeah, Yes Man's the Jim Carrey movie. My wife loves Yes Man. I love Yes. It's a good movie. Yeah, Yes Man's pretty good. I prefer Liar Liar. They're very similar premises. Liar Liar is a fucking banger, bro. Love me some Liar Liar. I just heat waved this like a moron. Spend short term being around a year. Short term investments are harder to, what's it called? Every 5 flips I profit, I lose money on 10. That's definitely just a and I don't mean this, I'm so sorry if it's off rude. It sounds really mean. It's kind of a skill issue that, like, if you're, now it's hard to flip right now. The market's a little slow, I think, but like you can still, yeah. That might just be a game knowledge thing, and that's okay. You can't learn how to flip in game knowledge overnight. It takes time. It's good to remind new players or, you know, players, if you're stressed about losing money on a flip, it's okay. You paid for knowledge. You definitely paid for yeah, short-term investments just flipping. Yeah, wasn't it recently? Epoch had put out some amazing videos on flipping recently. He makes fucking crazy money. There's some really good high-end flippers who just go crazy. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Gucci Rat's got, yeah, Epoch is a great, Epoch is probably the best YouTube channel to watch right now for flipping in PokeMMO. Check him out. Yeah, he made 8 mil on a new account in 24 hours. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's so crazy. Yes, event items are, yeah, that's the safe way to, hell yeah, playa. Why is this so good, actually? I'm like so shocked at how much I'm enjoying this sugar-free Rockstar. I haven't had one in like 15 years. It is nighttime in game. We can go farm Dittos in Johto while going for the legendary, which I'm very, honestly, I would love to. Yes, that, yeah, sorry. It's an important thing to mention. Mist, you're not wrong. Yes. I'm not saying that everybody can go, a new player can go flip and earn 8 mil in 24. That would be ridiculous. That's not what, that's not what I'm saying. It's not what Epoch is saying. Epoch is just showing you what is possible, right? And if Epoch could make 8 mil in 24 hours from flipping, maybe a new player could make like 800K. Maybe they could lose all their money. You know, like flipping requires a lot of game knowledge and experience and time, and yeah, the same way any markets do, right? Yeah, it's a great way to, it's a good, really important reminder, Miss, you're not wrong. I believe Epoch got banned on one account and was basically like, yeah, I fucked up, I RMT'd, and then made a new account, which dude, I'm a big fan of people who make mistakes, own up to it for the most part, and then move on. I have a lot of respect for, I don't know. I feel like those people should be praised, not shamed, in my opinion, you know? People make mistakes. I've made a million mistakes in my lifetime, you know? Hopefully you learn from those mistakes, and hopefully you like set yourself out to do good in the world to make up for those mistakes. It's all every human does, you know? Anyways. Accountability, yeah, it's really, really important. Not if so. It depends on the type of ban. You can get banned where they're like, you can't ever make an account again, but most bans are like, oh, you can make a new account and play, but yeah, it depends on the type of ban. I should on him. Oh wait, Strat, I don't like that. You should. It's not snitching. He broke the rules. I think this is the opposite of what you should do. This is not taking accountability, right? So what Epoch did I don't want to get into the details, but from my understanding, he traded something in PokeMMO for gold or something for something else in RuneScape. It was like a in between friends thing. You can't do that. It's RMT. I know, like, it's against the rules. Whether you agree with that rule or not, you know, that's fine, but you knew the rule and you still broke it, right? You can't. Yeah, it's RMT. Yeah, you have to be really careful. I'm a stickler about that stuff. You gotta be really careful about wording, right? When you start saying like, oh, someone snitched on him. Well, no, they did the right thing. You know, you probably shouldn't. Yeah. They didn't snitch. They just like made him get the he got the consequences. It was his actions, you know? Yeah, Epoch made a video talking about it, so you can go watch that as well. Yeah. I would love an official Iron Man mode, yeah. From the game. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's a very good moneymaker. Dude, it's so sick. What if I give 100K for a bag of chips brought to you? Could you be banned? Yeah, you probably shouldn't. Just don't do that. Just, you know. Okay, you probably shouldn't have transactional things with your wife anyway. Maybe, like, I've sent my wife Pokeyen just because. Not because she brought me a bag of chips, but, you know, maybe you send your wife 100K Pokeyen and then she brings you a bag of chips and those are just unrelated, you know? But if you're like, hey, you know, you could get banned for that. That's crazy. It's just the rule. I mean, it's the same thing as, like, what's the... there's a famous Reddit post where it's like, if I bring a jar of wasps into a store and then say, give me all your money or I'll release the jar of wasps. Yeah, you're just like, is that illegal? And it's like, yeah, you're stealing. Like, you're still like, what do you can't, don't spend your life. If you're spending your life trying to find loopholes on how to break rules, you're probably in trouble. Stop trying to break rules, okay? Well, I don't know. I kind of respect rule bending, don't get me wrong, but if you're gonna rule bend, you're gonna get fucking... You have to be okay with being punished. I don't know, man. The DC loophole, yeah. Just don't RMT. Just don't, yeah. No, I didn't. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. That's a pretty... I don't know. I almost want to... I don't know. Whether bend your... Oh, okay, okay. But like being... Okay, then you can go do that in your own time. More power to you. That's cool. A different game. Just okay. I would like to move on from... I know it's like kind of funny, but we just shouldn't be discussing... Just don't RMT. You'll get banned. Just don't break the rules. You'll get banned. Time for Murica, Jim. And I really... You're kind of right. Lieutenant Surge, he is kind of a... He needs like holding a birder though. He's not Murican enough. The spiky blonde hair is very funny though. I kind of... That and like the camo pants or whatever. Dude, we were saying this, Crowded, like... The fucked up thing is, what if I hit 250K today and there wasn't even a Gamba for it? I don't think I'm going to, honestly. Lieutenant Surge is like 10 feet tall in the anime. Is that true? That's awesome. I don't think I'm going to. No, it's a great question, Relapse. It does not. Great question. No Gamba, it's devious. I don't know if I'm gonna... I started at 606K. How many gyms would I have to do? I don't think I can even possibly get there in time. I don't think I can just... I don't think I can do enough gyms in the hour to get... I don't know if it's possible to get 250K with this. Well, it probably is, but I'm just bad and slow. I don't think it's possible with my current setup to do... Maybe if I had like other mons in the background, but I like the XP training, you know? It's probably quite hard to get 250K an hour with this run. This run is mostly just a 200K plus per hour run. My infinite channel points glitch? Wait, huh? Oh, like just doing easy Gambas, yeah. I mean, that is a massive, probably 90% of it missed. Maybe like 80 or 90%. Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah, dude. Maybe if I went to like, it's close enough to be fair. If I can get like 240K, then yeah, it definitely can be done. What are they allowing? Dude, I mean, the biggest thing, I don't know. Why are they allowing it? I have no idea. It's just always been. I kind of like it. Like, why are they allowing it? I don't know. It's just their decision. It is a funny one. One of the funniest rule stipulations in PokeMMO is that you actually can pay Pokeyen for PokeMMO related art. Like, art that's like, you're going to use on like the forums or like for the game or whatever. I think it's kind of, the reason, I don't know, it's funny to me that it is allowed, but I kind of respect it because it gives artists... I kind of respect that it gives artists a benefit. It is funny, like, oh yeah, like if you have an IRL art skill, you kind of have an advantage. But I don't know, art takes a lot of fucking time. I don't know, like, I think it's fine. They do sometimes have events for artists in PokeMMO where, like, I think PokeMMO is just very artist forward, very artist supportive. You know, they're creators with the game and they create write work and stuff. I did not even know that was allowed in multiple. I had no idea, Miss. Do you have what's an example of another MMO it's allowed in? I would love to learn. That's fucking cool. Art always used for money laundering, even in PokeMMO. Okay, no sense to me. I respect that. I don't know if it makes sense. It's just the rules. You know, a lot of mob and OG. Gotcha. That's so funny. And Final Fantasy. Gotcha. I think it's kind of cool, cute, man. Is it kind of funny? Yeah, but I respect it. Have you ever Swarm Illuminate on a main account? I really recommend on a main account. You should not payday pickup on the way to a legendary. It's just, it adds so much time for so little Pokeyen. It's so rough, dude. That is the real struggle of, I'm not an artist, I suck at art, but there is something really fucking funny about, like, if there's ever a community vote for an art piece, they are not gonna pick the best art piece. That's too boring. They always pick like the stick figures fucking. Like if it's between the most amazing hyper realistic art piece imaginable and blobs kissing, like they're gonna pick the, you know, that's just the human mind. And to be fair, as an artist, you gotta factor that in. So maybe draw your hyper realistic art piece fucking, I don't know, doing the gritty or doing some, you know, you gotta play into the memes, man. You gotta understand that humans are silly willy little guys. You gotta factor that in. That is true. You still play Roblox, Pat? I never really, the only time I played Roblox was with my wife. I play just to impress with her, but that's kind of it. Not really.
Humans, what have you learned?
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, I kind of respect it. Chill. All right, we're doing a pretty good gym rerun today. Yeah, even with, I don't think it's possible to make 250 here. I love my Minecraft. I am falling off of it a little bit, Usopp, but I've also done so much in my Minecraft Forever world over the past year that it makes sense that would finally like have a little bit of a break. Right now I'm working on a giant copper dome project, and I kind of think this project is burning me out a little bit because it's so much like placing a dirt so that you can then place the block in the spot you need to, and then placing a dirt, and then it's really in like different, it's really, yeah, it takes a long time. You have to realize most gamers like brain rot humor. Yeah, you like, as an artist, it's not fair, but you kind of have to cater your art. Well, you don't have to, but if you want, if you can't like not cater your art to brain rot and then be like, what the heck, brain rot won? Yeah, of course. People like brain rot. Oh yeah, I'm not an artist. In my opinion, I think people care more about the ideas presented in an art piece more than how much quality. 1,000 million trillion %. I think that's true with movies. I think that's true with literally everything. I think every video games, movies, art, music. Yeah, 1,000 trillion %. I think the ideas presented are more valuable than the quality, which is probably a good thing. That's the actual creative part. If it was only the quality that mattered, then we'd probably get taken over, you know. It's the human ideas that matters the most. I just I need some help. I had some friends, two of them play back in 2015. How do I help them go back into the game and use those retro mods to give them some working capital? What's worth looking for them? 2013, which are all their OTs. What's worth looking from? Like, I mean, so the big thing, if they have any Pokemon with 2013 is going to be worth something. Old comps are worth things. The biggest things hurdle are any mons that are 255 IVs. Yeah, it like a Pokemon caught like 2015 later on is not really worth, unless it's like special in some way, like it's an old comp or has 255, has a weird EV. Sorry, not EVs. If any of them have like 252, like 253 plus EVs on them on, that's big money. And then that and old vanities. If you have old vanities, you're just, congratulations, you hit the lottery. They'll tell them to check their vanity section in their bag, for sure. I mean, it depends on the old vanities. Could be billions. Like that's the, you know, it depends on the vanity. There was someone who came back to the game recently. There was someone in my chat who was like, yeah, I'm a returning player from 2012 or 2014. And he was like, I came back and I found out that I'm like a multi-billionaire. And he was like, I don't even know what to do. I was like, dude, fucking congrats. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Tal. Yeah. So sorry. Dude, yeah, he came in, Jando, he came in YouTube chat. I haven't seen the video, but he came in chat to let me know. It's just so fucking nice, you know? Thrice, what's up, dude? I don't think how much is worth the price. I don't know. I honestly don't know, because I haven't tested it myself. I wouldn't want to give advice or an opinion on a piece of content that I haven't tested properly. So I don't know. I'm sorry. Sorry for the lack of answer on your Twitch Prime. Thank you for the sub, but I don't know the content well enough. Sorry, man. Elfbot stuff is weird. Yes, Elfbot stuff is really, yes, Zeta nailed it. The low demand. Elfbot stuff is like really interesting. Yes, I am 19 feet. Yeah, no, for sure, Act. I mean, I'm a 2013 player, and when I came back to my account in 2021, I had nothing to my name. Like I made every bad, because I played the game when I was like 14, 15 years old, so I just made every bad financial decision possible. You know? People, a lot of new players think, oh, if you played back in 2012, 2013, you come back, you're rich. Oh my God, automatically. No. There's a reason why it's rare and why you are rich, because most people aren't, you know? I don't know, Chill. I don't know how exactly how the 253 plus EVs were preserved. I wonder if Epoch would probably know. True, Shuckle. Actually real. 75, true. The Shadow Cape. I don't think the number is revealed. It's a great question. I kind of wish we knew numbers on the ultra rares, but I don't know if we do. Peace. There. Thank you, Mist, for weighing in. That turns. Yeah, fuck. That's so funny. The worst part about the Ho-Oh refight is climbing the tower every day. You had to have had the Pokemon in your party. That's fucking insane. Holy shit. That's pretty wild. How long is an epoch? I don't know why this reminded me of this, but it did. Dude, recently my wife sent me the most... This is the most Zoomer meme I've ever seen in my entire life. Maybe not. This is like Gen Alpha meme. And I kind of love it, which is fucked up. My wife showed me a meme recently that was how much... Chat, forgive me. How much dick could a woodchuck suh if a woodchuck could suh dick? And I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how, I lost my mind. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm just too old for I thought it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie. It was so fucking stupid. The Mons of the People's Parties weren't effective with the change. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. So Typhlosions. I covered the making of the Typhlosion and all the stats in the Iron Man series, so I do recommend checking out the Iron Man series if you haven't seen it. But I can show you the stats here in a quick sec. Modest. One is modest 31-31, and then one is modest 28-26 in special attack and speed. All right. All right, but that is Gym Run number 4 done. That was our best one so far, I think. 240, no, less than that. Like 235K. The more I'm thinking about it, I don't know if it's possible, or it probably is, but it's very, very tight, and I'm not tight enough on the run yet. It's very difficult to make 250K in this run in 1 hour. It's probably doable, but almost no mistakes can happen, which is tough. So I made about 235K, which I'm very, very happy with that. So we'll take it. Let's head back on over to the beautiful thing right now is it's actually nighttime in game. So I can head on over to Johto and go farm Dittos at that spot while also, because it's nighttime, so I can use Dust Balls there essentially. Can farm Dittos efficiently while also going for Raikou. So let's go do that. Reddit and Twitch are causing the downfall in society. As a full-time Twitch streamer, I couldn't agree more. Dig it, chat. But it's, I mean, downfall or it's both, okay? Do you have box space? I have a fair bit, a little bit. Okay, not as much as I expected, to be fair. Not as much as I expected. but fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, we ball, chat. Let's grab this. Put. I need this for. I need this actually for fly and surf and stuff. Carnivine Swarm Kanto. I wonder if that's worth going to get. I wonder if I should go quick ball 1 for Pokedex. I probably should. Can you quick ball those? Throw all these in here. I really want to lead with my modest Memer because of Raikou, dude. Getting a modest Raikou is so important. I need a Magikarp in my inventory for the actual Ditto hunting. Maybe, I'm not sure. Carnivine's catch rate's actually kind of tough. I don't know if you can. Yeah, Tom, what's your Iron Man account again, Tom? How could I forget? There you go. Giving Tom the rank of executive is a scary thing, dude. Shake my head, but he deserves it. Okay, let me thank you so much, Tom. Let's grab this. Do you need a damp Pokemon for this spot? You might. Just in case, I'm gonna grab this. Time to kick everyone. No! I knew it! Yeah, let's head over to Kanto. I'm gonna catch rate calc this Carnivine. If I could quick ball this, I just will. I don't know if I can. Carnivine, quick ball, no status. No, it should be 100%. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, Pog. That's awesome, actually. Okay, just kidding. Before I go start farming Dittos, I'm gonna go catch this Carnivine from a Carnivine Swarm over in Kanto. This is honestly an amazing Pokemon to get via a Swarm, because otherwise, this is a pain in the ass Pokemon to get in your Pokedex, dude. This is generally a, like, Safari. Yeah, this is like generally a Safari Zone, very rare spawn. So I think I should be able to quick ball this, actually. I could be wrong with the level, but we'll see. It's really high level. This is such a lucky, hell yeah. This is such a lucky species to check off the list for the Pokedex, because otherwise this thing is a Safari only spawn and it's super rare. And I think it might even change depending on like the day in the Safari Zone. So Carnivine, not on the list, and it's a 31 HP breeder. Off to now back, we head over to Joe. Nice shiny nugget. We're gonna head over to Johto and go work on Ditto catching while also Raikou. I'll show you what that looks like here in a quick sec. No stream F so far, bro. I'm very happy with that. Okay. Have a good stream. Thank you, Mach. I appreciate it. Oh, I don't need to repel here. I just wasted like half a repel. I just wasted a full repel. No, I didn't need to repel any of that. I need to repel here. That's okay. I'm gonna tank it and not repel. This is gonna suck. Watch me get so many encounters, but because I wasted my repel, I'm gonna force myself to tank it now. That's the rule, man. That's the rule. On the grass. Oh yeah, I appreciate that, Usopp. It's honestly worth bringing a Dampmon just in case. Oh, what's up with Chandler? What happened? You're looking at good Chandelure. I'm crazy smart. Holy fuck. Oh, the team. Dude, thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Smartest. Thank you so much. Smartest Protopian. Thank you, Tom. All right. I'm going to try. Okay. Alright, if you haven't seen me farm Dittos, I mean, this will look pretty similar. You probably have. If you're watching the series, you probably have. But you probably haven't seen me farm Dittos while going for Raikou. The spot you go to is this weird little spot you have to waterfall up to over at Route 47 in Johto. And there's a really decent chance for Ditto spawns here. I'm going to try to lead with my modest synchronized Kadabra here and just run with the smoke ball. The reason why is that it's really important to get a usable nature on Raikou. I haven't really mentioned it or thought about it enough, but if the Raikou comes out not mild, modest, or rash, I can't even use it in the upcoming raids until the Lunar New Year event, so I can actually get Cressidua flowers to plant them to get nature herbs. So I am super underrating. Okay, there's the problem. So I really need this Raikou to come out with a good nature. And I'm not going to be able to synchronize, as you can tell. I'm going to get obliterated. Yep, there we go. So it'll be a weird situation. And this is why I've actually been really thinking about recently. Is it even worth for me to... Should I prioritize Raikou first? Since the nature matters so much, I've almost thought about just going back to Kanto and prioritizing Articuno, because I know that I have a Moltres that will work. I know that I have a Moltres that has the good nature that I can use. There's the Ditto, for example. I'll show what this catch looks like. So should I just go back to Kanto and go for the Articuno for the guaranteed, like, beneficial, you know, spawn? Maybe. I've been thinking about it a lot. What I do on Ditto catches, the way that I catch Dittos on an Iron Man account, this is... not what you should do on a main account. This is just a hyper beginner way to start Ditto catching on an Iron Man account. Is just go ahead, switch to Magikarp, let it have Splash or whatever, and that's it. And then you just go ahead and fall swipe Spore it and catch it. And that's the best strat that I found on Iron Man really early game. Obviously, you can do Safety Goggle, Smeargle if you have BP, but BP is really rare and expensive. You could get a Breloom and like sub, but once I get a Breloom built, I'll probably be doing that. Breloom sub, Poison Heal, you know, etc., etc. But for now, this is a really easy, good way to farm Dittos very early on. Okay, hopefully, Mini F, sorry about that. Hopefully we're okay. I know Mist was saying Twitch, I think it was just AWS was having problems, which is Amazon's, like, streaming thing. Streaming network. Because I know that, now we just dust block because it's nighttime. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully we're good and back. AWS, yeah. Amazon Web Service. Bro's got the fucking name, dude. Enough timer balls. I shouldn't need timer balls for Ditto. I do have I don't know how many I have. The timer balls are best for legendaries. Oh, for you guys, you're saying you're good check. You're saying, do I have enough timer balls to catch the Raikou if I get it? I should. I have 68. That should be plenty. Good, it's a good check. I will need to buy more at some point soonish. You shouldn't need more than 50, and that 50 is pretty, you know, high. That's a good thing to check. I appreciate that, honestly. After catching Raikou, I will almost guaranteed need to go buy more for Articuno. Yeah, this is almost making me want to go... What's it called? It almost makes me want to go, like, farm Articuno instead. But now I'm here, and I'm like catching, you know, doing fun stuff. Now I'm gonna catch this Miltank, which will throw off my repeat ball streak for Dittos, but it's worth for the Pokedex really quick. I can also go ahead and take the time to catch a few Pokemon like this Miltank, which I don't have in my Pokedex, and this is by far the best place to catch it, as opposed to like doing like the Hoenn Safari Zone, which would be a nightmare. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the time to catch this Miltank, add that to the Pokedex as well. A very good one, a pretty rare spawn at certain locations to get knocked off the list. We're slowly chipping away our Pokedex. I'll take good stats. Now, Miltank is a female-only species, so good IVs on a Miltank actually can't be used to put on other Pokemon or other species. You can only breed up a Miltank into Miltank. We're at 175. That's honestly quite good progress. 175 caught OT out of 600-ish. When I get 200, that'll be a nice 33% of the way there checkpoint. You like Miltank? I like Miltank. It's one of my favorite shiny Pokemon, one of my favorite Pokemon. I like that Miltank is randomly fucking fast as hell. Also, I don't Eradicate my decks. Huh? I mean, I'll catch this. Sure. Strange. I just realized I don't have Eradicate in my Pokedex either. I'll go ahead and catch one of these. How do I not have Eradicate in my Pokedex? Heard the Miltank song? I have not. What the fuck? No, I don't. I know the Reshiram song, the classic. Here's the Eradicate catch. Hopefully some IVs, make it a decent breeder. It's terrible. That's okay. Add it to the Pokedex. That should be 176. Do you know the Reshiram? So that's the real boomer. I love Reshiram. That's the real boomer Pokemon song. That was just a shit post back in the day. Back over at Carp we go. I don't know the Miltank song. I'm interested. Concerned, but interested. Thank you for the sub, Grizzly. What's up? Their box space. So the real answer, Relapse, is this is a good question. Let me try to here. Why don't you insta release shitty Pokemon like that Eradicate when you catch them to preserve box space? The real answer is, I mean, so if I'm catching like during catch events, it's like save time. Like, don't worry about it. The real answer is, does that mechanic work nowadays? Because for like the past 2013 to the past 11 years, I've been playing PokeMMO. That doesn't actually work. You know this if you ever try to like catch a Pokemon and then take an item off of it while it's still in the PC, you actually can't do that, but even though it gives you the option. I think they eventually updated it. Yeah, I think you can actually release a Pokemon in your PC from this screen now when you catch it. That didn't work for a very long time, but I think nowadays it does work. So the real answer is my boomer brain isn't used to that, which is very funny. Now I just got a really good Ditto. 31 speed, out of it nature. That'll be a fantastic breeder. Breed it with a 31 attack Pokemon. Get a 2x 31 out of it Pokemon. Boom, boom, there we go, dude. Hell yeah. What do you think those are going win the event? No. Wait. No. Why would he win the event? I don't know. I think I saw like a thumbnail talking about that. It was known from the very start that you can't turn in shiny legendaries, nor should you be able to, because they're an unfair advantage and they're not balanceable, because he could adjust the stats and us not know. No, he should not win the event. It was based on the rules. Yeah, I don't think it's even like up for question in my opinion. I can understand wanting to advocate to change the rules, but like I don't know. It's after the event. I wouldn't want. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. I don't think he should win the event. He already won by getting a shiny legendary. Like, I'm not, you know, I doubt that player would be advocating that he should win. That would be surprising to me, because he won, you know. I think getting the legendary is better than the prize from winning the event, if anything, you know. Not even. It's definitely better. It's worth more. I don't know if he needs to get this legendary catch. Yeah, that's greedy as fuck if he's asking to. I don't think he is, but yeah, the legendary Articuno is literally worth more than the event prize. Yeah, the legendary is like worth the entire event's prize pool. Bro does not need to win the event. He already won by getting a legendary. Like, that's literally like the cooler. Yeah, and it was known from the start that. The reason why you can't submit legendaries to a catch event for like the shiny one or whatever is because what's it called? He could use quills and us not. We can't tell if it's been adjusted. The IVs is number one, and then number two, it's an unfair advantage because it's a 3x 31 guaranteed, right? Prize of the crash. That now we're talking. If you breed Raikou, will it give you a Pikachu or a Pichu? I don't even know if I know. I think I don't know. Does it have to there's certain Babymons you have to use an incense on. Certain ones you have to, it just comes. I'm not sure. Wait, no. It is not confirmed. Wait. Wait. I don't want to misinform. But yeah, it was said we're not sure if the person, I haven't seen. Yeah, the person who got the shiny Articuno is not complaining about the prizes. At least not that I've seen. Let's not. Let's not spread misinformation. So someone is apparently there's some people arguing for. I know I saw an Epoch thumbnail or title about it. He shouldn't win the event. It makes no sense based on the rules, and I don't think he needs to win the event. You know, he literally won more Pokeyen by getting the Articuno than the whole event. Like yeah. The Articuno is no, it's a good question. The Articuno is literally worth 1 billion Pokeyen. It was not submittable in the rules. Even if it wouldn't be balanced if it was submittable in the rules. An honorable mention. He could get like an honorable mention on the forum page. Like, oh, congrats to this guy for getting an Articuno. Like, that's cool. No, not anytime soon, Lions fan. That shit would take maybe one day on this account, but I have too many things, too much progress to make. Now, Dittos are just great breeders, and I'm sure I'll use all the shittos I get on, passive egg hunt, but yeah. That's all you can do with shittos on an Iron Man account is just use them for passive things, Passive egg hunt. I don't know, Iron accounts getting shiny SP charm link spots. I think that's against the rules. I think I would not consider that account an Iron Man, which is kind of harsh, but like the whole point is you're not supposed to get outside help and yeah. I'm very against that. Now, obviously, the whole point of the Iron Man game mode is people to play the account the way they want to. So if you want to be an Iron Man account but be included in shiny charm spots, that's fine. Just make that. The problem is with all the different stipulations, you have to make it very clear if someone asks, like, oh, what kind of account do you have? Oh, I have an Iron Man account, but I allow for link spots. Like you have to clarify every time, which is kind of annoying. But yeah. Yeah, there are certain things that are, I think as time has gone on, I think trade evos are like for sure a no-no the more I've thought about it, since swarms, PvP rewards, and you can lure them all. Like, the more I've thought about it, I feel like trade evos should for sure be a no-no. Oh, I just totally didn't think and just did the wrong thing. Oopsie. If it just catches, okay, yeah, it's fine. I fucked up. What else? Yeah, the more I've thought about it, the more like the gray areas. The main gray areas were trade evos and should you be able to buy RP. And I think the more I've thought about it, those are becoming less and less gray areas and more like like very sure. Probably shouldn't be able to swipe credit card swipe for RP on an Iron Man account. And probably shouldn't be able to trade evo. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't. Yeah, I think at a certain point, it's okay to like have your own stipulations, but I prefer people making like their own names for them. Like make your own, type of account. I'm kind of standardizing, the Iron Man rule set for PokeMMO. My rules are probably gonna be the standard Iron Man rule sets. Obviously, if one becomes more popular, that will be, or if they create an official game mode, but I think it's fine to deviate from those rules, but just name it a different thing versus, It's tough without an official game mode for sure. At the end of the day, I think people can play the Iron Man account however they want. Just make it clear, It wouldn't be an Iron Man server, probably just like an Iron Man, like, lock on the account, similar to RuneScape. Yeah, dude, exactly. There's Bronze Man, there's Copper Man, there's like, it's funny, but yeah, like, I think that's the way to go about it. RP, yeah, instead of Iron Man, RP Man. I don't know, man, Yeah, I think that's a funny one. Make my own Iron Man account, but the only thing I have to wear the Iron Hero. Yeah, like, that's funny. Like, I like that. I thought about that. I almost did that, but the problem is vanities are a piece of endgame content. I don't like restricting the account to having to use the Iron Man helmet, even though it's really cool and like thematically fits in a very neat way. That's honestly true. An NPC that'd be do trade evos for would be great for the game. It'd be great for the game, and it would prevent scams and like save the developers time on like dumb little scams where like someone scams someone's fucking, what's it called, Pokemon. Yeah, like flip only accounts are cool. I respect that. Flipping challenges. Yeah, it would save a lot of time for the staff. Yeah, for sure. Also, support request and community managers who help with the trades now. You know, I try to keep like I try to think about updates that would save the devs time. I think the biggest resource for the devs is time and energy for sure. I think I'm actually not going to catch this Noctowl, even though I need it for Pokedex. I need to start getting a chain of 15 Dittos caught in a row. But I think that soon, what's it called? It's going to become daytime, and I need to have 15 caught for repeat balls. Yeah, box trading being implemented is a big one. Hey, even if it's a small cost for the trade evo, it still encourages you to like want to seek it out for free. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, it could be a small money sink. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. Like 5K is good. Yeah. Similar to like relearning moves and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, that's been talked about a bit. So similar to like leagues in Path of Exile or in like seasonal servers, like leagues. Are leagues? Are they called leagues in Path and in RuneScape? Yeah, you want? Yeah, no, dude. I mean, I'm with you, Mist. Like. Yeah. Ditto catching is not one of the best moneymakers in PokeMMO, but it's still good and it's consistent, but it's not one of the best. It's like, well, maybe it's like top 10, top 20. It's also classic and fun, you know? BDO, gotcha. Apply does it online. Oh, don't worry. My answer was boring as hell, Storm, because I don't know and I would just Google it. Like, if like, when you asked me that question, I'd be doing the same thing that you would do, because I don't know the answer, right? So I would just Google, does Pichu need an incense to breed? Some Pokemon, when you breed them, come out as the baby automatically. Some need incense. Another great Ditto breeder caught, Jolly Nature, and then it's 20 plus in every single stat except for speed. So I could just breed a fellow Pokemon with like 31 speed and all the stats, maybe high roll something, and Everstone the Nature. That's a really good Ditto catch. I think it's Light Ball. Does Light Ball make it a Pichu? Yeah, I'm not sure. Certain babies need items, certain ones don't. And I don't know about Pichu off the top of my head. Sorry, it's a lame answer. This says no, Pichu does not need incense. Does he need Light Ball? I have no idea. Does Light Ball make it Pichu? If you just go to the Pichu Bulbapedia, it probably comes up. This one, Johto, Route 47. It's over to the left of like Cyanwood City. You have to like waterfall up to it. Now it's a little more awkward than the Hoenn spot, because you have to be on it either has to be nighttime and use dust balls, or you have to be on a 15 Ditto catch streak and use repeats. Good luck, Chivalry. Just put me to when I click on a funny. Do you want me to draw you something right now, Mr. Pat? What do you mean feeling kind of? Are you good, Ivy? I'm chilling, man. I appreciate the offer. I'm chilling. I don't know. Trying to farm my Dittos, get my Raikou chance. It's nice, dude, seeing the Pokeyen stack. I'm not gonna lie, it is, dude. I'm not gonna lie, it's good to take the time to just, you know, smell the roses, smell the Pokeyen, and appreciate stuff like this. It feels really nice to see the Pokeyen stack go up this fast. It, like, for the little hours, I've just did one Jimmy run every 1 hour a day, making Pokeyen, already back up to 842k. Like that feels amazing. You know, if I can get back up to over a million, which I definitely will be able to get back up to over 1 million Pokeyen in one episode after making the Gym Run team, that's exactly what you want to see. That's perfection, dude. Anyone in chat able to do a trade evolution for a Machoke with ESP? SB? I don't know why I said it ESP first. What's up? What's up? Welcome back. What do you mean the trade for adamant? These are... Ooh, that's... I would probably just... So there's... This is a great question. If I were you, if you really want an adamant one, you could go for, you know, you could still go for that, but I wouldn't breed that one. If you roll Jolly with those stats, Scotty, you have two options. You either keep the Jolly nature and use it for yourself and have a Jolly one instead of adamant, or you sell it as a Jolly one and to someone who wants Jolly and then breed a new one from scratch up to adamant, right? I would not breed one with those stats. That's Jolly. I wouldn't breed the Jolly off of it. That's a good Pokemon, you know? It's a great question. I think sometimes a lot of players get locked in, like, on stuff like that. Someone after putting out for 5 years and then cooking fire off, which you know. The best, not in stream, but I have a video for you, Scorch, called 63 Tips for New Players 2025 Update. This is the best. If you want, like, rambled off tips, tricks for a new player, this is an hour and 24 minutes of dense tips and tricks that can help you out if you're new. Welcome to the game, dude. What's up? What's up? Happy to have you. And then, so you want to watch that video while you play, you know, in the background, learn a few things. And then the biggest tip is just Google questions whenever you have them. If you see someone in global chat say, Alpha Dragonite spawn Island 2 Kanto, as a new player, you're probably like, what the fuck what is that? You know, what does that mean? If you Google Alpha Pokemon Explained, PokeMMO, just add Pokemon to the end of all your searches, you'll find videos, you'll find resources. I always say, it's the typical Patrouski, you know, lore dump, but like, for 10 to 12 years of this game's existence, you could not Google questions about it. There was no fucking resources. There was no answers. Like, you had to know somebody in game and then hope they were generous enough to give you their free time to answer it for you. Nowadays, there's so many guides, so many resources, and it's a huge privilege to actually be able to Google questions and find them. So just don't be afraid to Google the hell out of shit. People, a lot of people like ChatGPT for Pokemon questions as well. Hilariously, they say it works quite well. So you can do that. Yeah, tips, the 63 tips, Google questions, ChatGPT questions if you want to. Hopefully that helps, dude. Good luck, good luck. So play control keyboard. I mean, it's personal preference. Really use your mouse. I use my mouse. It depends on how you play. I use my mouse a fair bit, as you can see on stream and stuff. You don't have to use your mouse. Some things are a bit faster. It's up to you. There's no wrong way to play. There's no best way. That's personal preference, right? That's personal preference. For me, like, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing ×5 horde Lepa shiny hunting, which might sound confusing if you're, you know, a new player, but it's like sitting still and shiny hunting over and over and over again. That I love to use a controller for because it's so comfy. But I use keyboard and mouse for most things, but that's because I prefer, you know, grew up on a computer. However, yeah, you can do a lot of I think it's worth it to get up to where you get fly and set up for tomorrow. I don't want to, because whenever I do it's probably worth it. It's up to, you know, it's up to you. Whenever I do a storyline on my Ironman account, I'm making a storyline guide out of it as well. So not only am I doing the storyline for the Ironman account, I'm also like narrating the storyline and making a guide out of it, right? So I actually have Johto's guide recorded and uploaded. I need to do timestamps and thumbnail, but that one's done. Sinnoh's the last one. The Iron Man's been a perfect excuse to get all the storyline guides done. Sinnoh's the last storyline guide I need now, which is awesome. Any good dittos? I have actually had some good dittos, yeah. Krook is, I'm glad you bring it up. Krook is one of the most important mons I want to breed right now for a good, because it lets me do the Halloween event boss. Crocodile is one of the big mons I need right now. Yeah, hopefully I have a lot of videos, over like 3,400 videos now on my channel about PokeMMO. Hopefully, you know, some of them are useful. Hopefully, right? Good luck, man. Imagine how fucking sad that would be. 3,400 videos and they all suck. Damn, dude. Unlucky. Only like 3,300 of them suck, okay? Give me a break. Over 3 yeah, I have over 3,400 videos. 3 of them are useful. Check them out. True and real. 2 of them are entertaining. Nah, I don't like the let me Google that for you website. I got by that once when I was younger, and it definitely taught me. I never asked anybody anything ever again until I Googled it first. But it made me feel so embarrassed. It probably was worth it, honestly. I just can't make others feel like that. Even if it's for their benefit. That shit made me feel so embarrassed when I got by that. I can't do it, man. I think devs could add a linking cord item for ways that evolve. Yeah, I think that would be a really easy add for sure. We like, I mean, hopefully, right? We already have things like, the problem is if it's only in Legends Arceus, we'd have to get a well, actually, I don't know. I just don't know enough about the PokeMMO copyright issues and copyright systems, because we don't have like a Gen 6 ROM that we use, right? But we have heavy duty boots in the game, but it's called something different, right? I don't know, but yeah, they probably could implement a linking cable or some shit. I don't know. I hate to break it to you, but no, that's fucking fair, Fitz. Understandable, man. Yeah, there are a ton of mechanics. Yeah, I think a linking cord would just be a positive add. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this would just be like a no-brainer, another no-brainer, like positive addition to the game. Do you think the devs could add a linking cord? It's an item from Pokemon Legends Arceus to evolve Pokemon that evolve by trading. Yeah, they already updated it so that you can use things like metal coats to evolve Scizor. You can use like dragon scales. A lot of Pokemon that used to like, you would put an item on it and then trade to evolve, they've changed it to where you just use it on it, which is nice. But full trade evos, things like Gengar, Conkeldurr, you know, stuff like that, you still have to trade. And it's funny, like, trade evos actually suck up a lot of the PokeMMO staff members' time, because community managers, and as they should, but like community managers will help new players trade their Kadabras into Alakazams for like the storyline runs. If someone gets scammed on that, like if they get scammed over like a 80 total IV Kadabra, it happens. It's pretty rare, but it happens. That sucks up support request time, and like, you know, it's really silly. I would love something like a link cord or a link cable or whatever it is in Gen 9, right? That would just allow us to do that. Yeah, make it a Pokeyen sync. It could be a buyable item from Pokemart. It could be a random item in a sealed product. Yeah, like I think that's. It needs to be cheap enough to where, like, even if it's just like 5K or 10K, because there's things like that where like it could be cheap but still sync Pokeyen, but it needs to be, because if it's too expensive, no one's going to use it. They're just going to go trade someone or whatever. But you should pay for that convenience, right? Do people get scammed that often? Not really on storyline mons, but it does happen. The most commonly scammed thing is on Ditto boxes in PokeMMO, and even that's like pretty rare. I've bought like 40,000 Dittos, for example, and I've only been scammed twice. And one time, I think maybe once, once or twice. I forget how many. I've only been scammed once or twice over 40,000 Dittos for reference. Very, very rare, but it does happen. And scamming is bannable, so if someone does scam you, if you make sure you log, I have a video covering this in great detail, so please watch, you know, Google and watch videos, but I have a video called like how to not get scammed in PokeMMO, and it's essentially every time I do a Ditto box trade, I whisper to the person, hey, I'm trading you 300K for a Ditto box, correct? And then you don't trade until they say yes or correct or confirm. And as long as you have that confirmation whisper, it's pretty impossible to get, you know, got. Because if they got you, what happens, I need to switch bonds here, oops. If they got you, what happens is, then they just get banned. So like it's not, yeah, worth it. Ditto box, what's that? A ditto box is a box of 60 bad IV dittos used for rare shiny hunting. The fastest way to shiny hunt things like Charmander, Beldum, these like really, really rare shinies in the wild is just to breed dittos over and over again. It's very expensive. You don't want to do it. It's just like the best option, even though it sucks. It costs 180 mil now. It's gotten more expensive. It's like 180 million Pokeyen cost sunken away out of your account. Per egg shiny hunt on average. You could go drier, you could go, you know, and then it also takes like 2,000 hours. It's like 2,000 hours and 180 mil. That's why egg shinies are so respected, because they're so insane. Don't get got the gitters before, yeah, there you go. Don't get got, get the gitters before getting got. There you go. Lore shunning Zenical. The problem is, yeah, lore shunning takes longer. But it's cheaper, but it's still pretty expensive. I don't recommend lore shunting Cyndaquil. If you want to, you can. Don't get me wrong. The problem is okay, an egg hunt. I'm over exaggerating with 2,000 hours for an egg hunt. An egg hunt is actually closer to like 12 to 1,500 hours, which is still a lot of hours, obviously. But it's 12 to 1,500 hours, and that's including the cost to make the Pokeyen. Let's say 1,500. If you lure, it's going to cost you like, it still costs you like 35 mil, by the way, to lure to a shiny. I went to the wrong parasect. Fuck. It still costs you a lot to lure to a shiny. And then it also takes you more hours, 2,000 hours to lure to a shiny. Is there an OPT? For what purpose? You know, for storylines, Louvre, for raids, for PVM, for PvP, you know. What exactly in Parasect? I ran out of Spore on my Smeargle. That's the only reason. Yeah, if you're looking for storyline, Gyarados is my favorite. If you just Google, once again, Googling questions, guys, is the most powerful thing you can do. If you just Google, for example, best Pokemon to beat PokeMMO. I have like 3 different videos on that topic. I have top 5 Pokemon to beat PokeMMO in 2025. I have top 5 budget Pokemon to beat PokeMMO in 2025. For PvP to spin the game pretty much. Well, those are 2 different things, right? You can't. You're saying, okay. You're asking like, okay, what's the best car, Patrouski? And it's like, okay, well, no car is the best car. Do you want to go fast? Do you want to save gas money? Do you need to have a truck for work? Do you have kids? Do you need a minivan? Like, there's a reason why there's like different. It's not one car, right? You can't just pick one car. There's a lot of different reasons why people buy cars. So if you say what's the best Pokemon, what are you going to use it for? It depends. Do you want PvP? PvP and storyline are very different. Those are not the same answer. For PvP, you can check PvP statistics in game. For storylines, you can watch the videos I linked. Here is top 5, yeah. Bro, just answer the question. Obviously, I'm assuming you're memeing, but like, it's funny. A lot of people like do behave like that. It's not that simple. It's like saying, what's my favorite color? Or it's like if some chatter said, what's my favorite color stream? Like referring to themselves. I don't fucking know what your favorite color is. Whatever it is, bro. I don't know. I can't pick that for you. The streamer has no idea. Yeah, like that. Like, bro can't even name the best Pokemon. What does he even know the game? 10,000 hours? Yeah, right. That's a good bit, to be fair. Rage ban should be a violation. Not in this stream. Maybe it should, but not in this stream. I unironically love Guzzlord, to be fair. Because his name is Guzzlord #1, and because it looked like a Guzzlord #2. Out here chasing cats the 5 mil tanks, yeah. Rage baiting should be encouraged. People love rage baiting in my stream, which I know. I'm a very rage baitable person. I get it. I'm a very passionate person. That comes with some quirks. That comes with some benefits, some flaws. No, I did not, Masha. I don't know what that is. Is that like a D's Nuts joke? I'm scared. It's a D's Nuts joke. Okay, yeah, this is the one question I Googled, but I can't find a straight answer for. I'm excited already. If the Pokemon has star and the Pokemon is breed with non-OT Pokemon, how can I remove that via breeding? I don't know if you can remove that via breeding anymore. So you need to catch the Pokemon, have the Pokemon caught OT, and that will prevent it from gaining the star in the first place. I don't know if you can. Maybe you can get rid of the star. Yeah, I don't. Gulk and DM. This is the worst. Yeah, Gulk and DM nuts. Gulk and DM nuts down. This is the worst these nuts I've ever seen. I'm only gonna give you like a 1 minute timeout because it's at least so ludicrous that it's funny. It's funny and it's like a movie that's so bad it's funny, you know. But come on. This is Route 47. Desert Underpass is generally the best and most consistent for Dittos. This spot is only good if it's nighttime and you can use Dust Balls here, or if you're on a 15 Ditto catching streak. No, I didn't think, you're totally fine. Sorry, I didn't think you were rage baiting. Hopefully that. So I talked about like a million different topics within 10 seconds. Sorry if you got conflated into that. You're totally good. There's like Twitch chat as well. So there's 2 different chats. You might not see the Twitch chat's the more active chat. I didn't feel like you were rage baiting. You're totally fine. It's a totally valid question to ask. I don't think there's any Pokemon that are universally good at everything. Like, or very few. And even if it is, I've just always been a pretty hyper person in general. Slight relapse, but obviously the drinks do affect. I was gonna say, there's also things being late to a stream. What's up, Sincerity? Starmie does it all. The problem is that even if a Pokemon is good at multiple things, it needs different natures for those things. So Gyarados is the best example. Gyarados is pretty good at, really good at storylines, pretty good in PvP, but like not good in like high tier PVM like raids for the most part. But even then, like a PVM Gyarados, a storyline Gyarados needs to be adamant, whereas a PvP Gyarados needs Jolly for the most part, right? So like, even then, it like depends. Yeah, the problem is like it just yeah. There's not really there's Pokemon that are good, but it's tough to. There's not really Pokemon that fit all. Like Starmie, you'd want to go like modest for PVM and modest for storylines, but then timid for PvP. You can go modest for the for the most part, to be fair. So there definitely are Pokemon you can build decent in all ways. 19 feet. I misread your message. I thought you said feet all for a sec, but you typed gamble all, and my brain just conflated your username in the meme. Yeah. As MVP. Dragonite, the problem is Dragonite's dog shit in the storylines because you don't get him until level 55, which is usually higher than the max obedience. So you can't even use him in the storylines until maybe the Elite Fours. And then he's not that good in PVM either. Like Dragonite's not good for any raids, Dragonite's multi-scale Dragonite's great for PvP. It's obviously a powerful Pokemon, but weirdly he's not good in storylines and not good in PvM and raids. But very powerful Pokemon. He's a weird one. He's a weird one. When's the Ralts event? Is it the 17th? Tomorrow. Also, yep. It like really needs hit ability access to be good. I mean, Inner Focus Dragonite is still good in PvP, but like, it's an objective disadvantage. You want multi-scale. God damn it, Tally. I'm just here for real. Aren't we all, man? That's the realest fucking sentence you can type in. I'm just here trying to live another day. Okay, I'm just trying to play a game I enjoy, I'm just here, man. Yeah, there you go, as Medai. There you go, man. Legendary? I don't think so. Pat, do you think Kyogre will ever be a catchable roaming legendary? I don't think so. I think Kyogre is... Now, I obviously don't have genuine traditional Pokemon PvP experience for the most part. I would bet Kyogre is broken. Based on Scarf, specs, Water Spout, I think Kyogre is too broken. The way that it does everything that it does, Kyogre I believe Kyogre is probably, I could check, but probably been Ubers in like every PvP tier. every season it's been allowed, we might guess, or like very close to Ubers. I think Kyogre would be absolutely busted in PokeMMO in a totally broken up way. And not only would the problem is not only would it be broken in PvP, but it would also be busted in PVM. A lot of people when they hear that their favorite Pokemon, the legendary Kyogre would be broken in PvP. Oh, just ban it in PvP. That solves all the problems. No, it doesn't. It still breaks it in storyline runs, still breaks it in PVM, breaks it in raids, and breaks it for all future planned content, like future raids or dungeons perhaps, or like you cannot have a Pokemon be broken in a Pokemon MMO. In a single player game, it's okay if it's broken, right? In an MMO, it fucks the economy. It breaks the economy is the problem. When you have an economy that relies on balance, it changes the way everything is thought about. So you can't have Kyogre in PokeMMO, at least like in a permanently. You could have Kyogre maybe in like a Darkrai orb way. The problem is most players don't like, they fucking hated the Darkrai orb. So the only way to get Uber tiers legendaries in the game is to only be able to own them temporarily or like use them at a severe cost, but players don't seem to like that. So I just don't think we'll see Uber powerful things like Kyogre almost ever, if just not in a very, 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 very long time in PokeMMO. Kyogre might be like one of the strongest legendaries to like ever be in Pokemon. Like it's fucking up there, right? Like Kyogre and Groudon are incredibly strong. Darkrai's goated. I don't mind the implementation. I even like I don't know. It's either that or no Ubers, which is like I respect if you're like, you know what, like, yeah. And Jed not, yeah, there you go. It's around, well, I'm making it slower by catching Dittos, don't get me wrong. When I'm catching Dittos, it's probably like extremely long. If you just run back and forth, you should be able to, if you use Swarm or Illuminate or some sort of ability that increases your encounters, and you use Expert Lures, a Legendary Hunt is around 20 hours on average if you do it efficiently. I think that's valid. There's nothing wrong with being against Darkrai. I think that's super valid. I always said Pokemon is about catching and owning all of your Pokemon and collecting. It feels really bad. Darkrai is essentially renting. If you're a collector of video games, of trading cards, you probably hate renting stuff. I hate renting stuff, right? Darkrai is kind of like a rented thing. That feels bad for the main gameplay loop of Pokemon. I totally get it. I think it's fair to I think it's fair if Darkrai made you take a break and you really didn't like Darkrai. There's no problem. I respect that. People were like really hateful and there was so much vitriol over that, which sucked. I understand being against it, but a lot of the solutions presented were like, oh, just have no balancing. Fuck it. Just let Darkrai be catchable at level 1 on Route 1 by everybody. Smiley face. It's like a lot of people just don't fucking care, which that sucks because like a lot of people care about their own self and their own personal joy and happiness over the balance of the game, which is the actual happiness of hundreds of thousands of players, right? That shit annoys me. Yeah. Darkrai was meta in, I think, one of the raids. I think it was the Slacking raid. Someone told me this. Darkrai actually was meta in like the Slacking raid because it allowed you to put him to sleep and he could dodge all of his like big attacks with Truon or something like that. So Darkrai was meta for one raid. I hate the logic of if everything's broken then nothing is. It can work, but you have to like accidentally fall into that. You can't like balance around it purposefully. Like usually that's like a, oh shit, like whoops, but it's fine. It's everything's broken, nothing is like a whoops button, but it worked out. Like I think Dota is kind of true with that. Like Dota's, because it's also like frame of reference. And if you go from League of Legends to Dota, everything feels broken because the CC in Dota comparatively to League is fucking crazy. But you have BKB in Dota, which kind of balance, which is also broken. So like so much of Dota, I'm a terrible Dota player. I just play like Dota Turbo for fun once a year, maybe once every 4 years. I have like 400 hours total in Dota. I'm terrible, but it's a real, I respect it as a game. And it's very cool. We have it in League. Dota is like broken as fuck because there's so much insanely broken CC and so many broken things you can do in Dota, but there's also broken counters like BKB, which gives you like, if you don't know, there's like CC and there's like CC chains. You could lock someone down for like literally 10 seconds in Dota. It's fucking crazy. But there's also BKB, which is a activatable item that anybody can buy that gives you like 9 seconds of CC immunity, which is fucking crazy. So like, yeah. Yeah, so a lot of it's bounce around that. But so I think Dota is a good example of like everything's broken so nothing is, but it just kind of happened like that. It's because of the comparison to lead. Within the confines of Dota, it's actually kind of fine or whatever, right? Anyways. Let us know never coming right. Probably, or like Incineroar is an interesting one because Incineroar is really only broken in VGC. For mine, I could be wrong. Incineroar is probably not broken in PVM. Incineroar is probably not broken. I don't think it would be broken at all in raids. Incineroar, is Incineroar even broken in singles? I don't even know if it is. I don't think it is. I could be wrong. Incineroar is just really broken in doubles. It's really broken in VGC, right? That's the problem with Incineroar, right? From my understanding. Just yeah. So they could actually add Incineroar and just have it banned in doubles. That actually is one of the few mons where it would be fine, you know? That's a great or just like yes, or just nerf it in some way. That's a great example of a mon we could add in a non-busted way. If anybody has an idea of a legendary Pokemon that is only broken in PvP but not broken in PVM, I'd love to like hear them, because that could be cool, you know, but generally they kind of go hand in hand. But yeah, Incineroar is a really, really good example. Rayquaza would be so busted in PVM. With just Draco Meteor, or like, yeah, it'd be fucked up. You just choice band, or you do a million different things. So many ways to do damage. Be too crazy. I'm not sure. I feel like laddies are arguable for PVM. Like unironically, laddies would be busted in PvP with no fairy type. They might be. Cresselia is a really good example. That's a real we got some really good examples in chat. Someone actually brought up so I always tell people, I always try to, you know, you can't add something that's broken in PvP and then just ban it in PvP, because generally it's also broken in PVM, but not always. Someone brought up Incineroar. Incineroar could get added to PokeMMO and then just nerfed or banned in doubles, because Incineroar, from my understanding, is really only broken. It's very broken in doubles, but it's really only broken in doubles. Incineroar wouldn't be broken in PVM or in raids or in even singles PvP, from my understanding. Probably quite good there, but not like broken. Incineroar really shines in VGC format and in doubles. It wouldn't actually be broken in PVM, which is a pretty cool example. Someone else brought up legendary Pokemon that would be like broken in PvP, but maybe not broken in PVM. People brought up the Laddie twins. Latios and Latiis are broken in PvP without fairy types because they can do too many things. You don't know if they're going to be calm minding. They could be calm minding with like heal with like leftovers or whatever. They could be soul dew. They could be specs Draco Meteor. They could be, you know, there's so many things they could do, and it's too good. When a Pokemon does a million things at the best level, that's where things get broken. That's why Garchomp is like arguably there sometimes. The laddies might not be, I don't know enough. I don't have a strong opinion on that. They might not be broken in PVM because their strength comes from their versatility. Would Draco Meteor dropping in PVM be too broken? I don't know. I'm not sure. I have no idea, honestly. It might be too good. I'm not sure. I'm glad people like Hyam Rainer can weigh in. Hyam Rainer is like a PVM gym rerun or maybe current gym rerun speedrun world record holder. Rainer says Latias with 110 base speed and their buff move pulls from newer gens would be insane for Elite 4 reruns in PokeMMO. It's not something the average player thinks about, but yeah, you can't break Elite 4 reruns, trainer reruns, gym reruns. Like, you have to be balanced, or it fucks the economy. So I appreciate you speaking up. Now, the better example that I've seen in chat, I think is Cresselia. Cresselia is a great example where Cresselia is really good in PvP, super tanky, super annoying. Cresselia surely wouldn't be a problem in PVM, right? Because it's so tanky. Even if it's like really good and tanky, generally non-offensive Pokemons are not broken in PVM because it's the length of the battle balances it out. If something like, if you could guaranteed beat the Elite Four every time in a rerun, but it takes like 20 minutes or you know, it takes like an hour per Elite Four, that's fine. That's not broken because it takes so long to like set up and yada yada, right? Cresselia might be one of the perfect examples of, would be really good in PvP, so you could just ban it there if you need to, but it'd be fine in PVM. So a lot of people always give the arguments of, oh, if something's broken, and just ban it in PvP and it's fine, but that's almost never the case. But there are some that are the case, so it's good to talk about those niche examples. Yeah, the Reggie Trio is one that I've talked about forever. The Reggie Trio is one of the easiest. Like, they would not be broken in PvP and would not be broken in PVM. The Reggie Trio is just, I mean, kind of a joke. Laughing stock of legendaries, unfortunately, for better or for worse. I am very in favor of just add the Reggie Trios. They might want to do like a raid boss with them though, similar to Heatran, which is really cool. So it depends. Are support mons ever the problem? It's a good question. Well, I mean, in Cineroar, some support mons can be problems in PvP for sure, but are support mons ever busted in PVM? I don't know. I think almost never, because once again, the time. Like, even if a support mon is really good in raids, like Prankster Murkrow setting up Tailwind, right? Or like Screens Sableye, you're spending time, and as long as you're not like, you know, blasting through raids within 2 minutes or beating Elite Four reruns in 10 minutes, like that's where things get broken, is like doing things very quickly and consistently in an MMO, because then you're making Pokeyen faster than ever, and it can break the economy, especially if it's a pure yen method like Jimmy Run.